Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. Today I have a special message for you that will help you to get your life in a certain order. Doesn't matter if you're an artist or you're building a business or you're in a certain point of your life where you want to get to a next phase of it, maybe financially or in your health situation or in relationships, the way you introduce yourself to the world. Whatever it is, there's a set of rules and a certain change in perception we all need to create in order to make it happen. So I've learned it in my life as I've started working on this project, when I've started doing my art, and I've recognized, well, somebody needs to see my art if I want to sell it. So when we start working on a certain project that turns out to be a business idea and then turns out to be something fundamental around which you start building your whole life as, a mission that is helping many people, you recognize that you need to have a certain order in your life that works for you, but then also that you know how to maintain it so it keeps working for you. And of course, for anyone who came or who comes across it. So today I wrote this quick message that I want to read to you as an introduction in today's video, and it goes like this. You will get in life as low as your standards allow, as far as your vision can see, and as high as your goals can reach. By managing these three mental frames, your creative capacity will help you to find a way to fulfill your vision. And if that already resonates with you, hit the like button because it helps to bring this message to more people. Thank you so much, my friends. And I want to remind you that we're running a giveaway where you can get a free print of my latest painting named The Source. You can find it on our Patreon page. The link is in the description of this video, so go there, check it out. You can enter it just by writing a comment of what you see in the painting, and it's available to everyone. For those who are subscribing and for those who are free members, anyone can enter it, so go there, check it out. And also thanks to everyone for supporting my art in our Etsy store, AttractPassion. The link is in the description of this video as well, so you can go and check it out. So my friends, when I've started working on all of that, I've recognized that actually my standards for income and for health and for relationships and for how I am expressing myself are coming from my parents, from people whom I've admired as a little kid. And I've recognized if I want to make more out of my life, if I want to become who I came here to be, I have to raise my standards. I have to raise what I'm tolerating. Like, this is the lowest income I allow in my life. This is the lowest expression of my health I allow in my life. When I recognize that I am coming past through this, let's say, lowest point, I need to really change something drastically. But most people don't have clarity around that. Most people don't have clarity around what they tolerate, so they only feel stressed because their lives are not going the way they want, but they don't know where to start making changes. So the first thing we should truly consider is to slow down and take a piece of paper and write down what is the lowest point of anything you want to change. What is the lowest point, the lowest income, the lowest expression of health, the lowest expression of relationships, like what you tolerate, what kind of behaviors you tolerate, what you don't tolerate. Build some clarity around that, because you will notice what people say no to. You will notice when certain people are disrespecting you, to go away from those people, to stop giving your time to them, because your time is precious and you should rather invest it into something that will grow into something you want to see, right? So build some clarity around that. And then I said that you will go as far as your vision can see, which means that as you have this standards, how low you can go, how low you allow yourself to go. Sure, sometimes something will happen that you will go past that and you will fall deep into the bottom. But as long as you have this line like, okay, below that, I don't want to go. So here's something I want to change. I need to change. Sometimes we lose a job or we lose a client or something happens in our family or whatever it is. And things we were working on break down. It's a sign that it's time for us to start something new. So we always need to be open for something new. We shouldn't be just attached to all of that, but we need to have a certain frame within which we are building something that matters to us. We can't always be free and kind of all over the place, because we also came here to manage all this complexity of energy, of ideas, of visions, of skills and habits. We've come here to manage all of that so we can do something out of our incredible capacities and potential. So by having this lowest standards, we know what we allow and what we don't allow in our lives. And then if we have a great sense of a vision for something we are working on, like this is where I see myself, and don't limit yourself. Vision is not like goals. You set goals as something you're working towards. You have these huge goals and then you set realistic goals when you want to change something. But vision is something much higher, much bigger, much wider. Vision is something where you see yourself with things and doing something that seems maybe impossible right now, but you know that you can do it because you want to do it. Vision is seeing yourself having this incredible life because you deserve it. And you don't need to know how to get to there. It's just expanding your mind around it. That's why vision is so important. Doesn't matter where to start and how to start. If you don't have that vision, you will never consider to start working on it at the first place. You will say it's not possible. It's only for those the intelligent ones or those who have rich parents or whatever. So when you have a vision and maybe you find someone who's already doing that, that you see that maybe they're not more intelligent than you, or maybe they don't have bigger or higher education or status than you or whatever, you will notice there's at least one person that is already where you want to be that is similar than you. And then it comes to goals. Why goals are important? Well, if we don't have goals, we'll do what other people say us to do. We need to learn to give order to ourselves. If we don't give order or orders to ourselves, only other people will be giving them to us, and therefore we're living a dream of someone else. So I want to remind you to take a piece of paper, and as you wrote down these standards for your life, now also write down your goals. And when you have your goals, break them down to smaller goals. So if your goal is, okay, in 1 month I want to make $10,000 or $100,000 or whatever, then smaller goals will be, what will be the first vehicles for making it happen? Will you build an online store, or will you create a certain platform on which you will introduce your things, products, whatever you're offering? And then how can you make it grow? Will it be marketing? Will it be content creating? Will it be calling people? Will it be connecting with others? How it will be? Write down your goals and then start working on it. Because when you start working on it, you actually start learning what works, what doesn't work, what needs more time, what needs less time, and so on. And you recognize, well, to everything I ever wanted, there's a pattern to get there. But this pattern requires a great amount of clarity if I want to get there. I need clarity. And when it comes to clarity, it also comes to our creative capacities. We recognize that sometimes we have no idea how to make something happen. And for me, when I'm writing these things down and I have no idea how to make it happen, what I do, I just leave it there. I leave it in my writing, in my journaling block, and I allow myself to receive an answer or an idea when the time is right. And sometimes I'm doing something completely else and the answer comes to me. Sometimes in meditation, sometimes before I go to sleep, the answer comes to me. And immediately when it happens, I write it down. And then the next day, what I will do, I will make a plan out of it. I will think deeply about it, or I will call someone to talk about this, to make some plans around it, to see what somebody else, maybe who's much deeper in this, or much better, or much wiser in this area, what that person would do, to find a new perspective, and then I start working on it. So it's important, my friends, to have this kind of a clarity, because sometimes I'm receiving messages from artists who are wondering like how to start selling their work. But the thing is that we shouldn't focus on any of that, because there's art that you're creating and there's business that is completely separated from doing art. And anything else you're doing, it's the same. There's your creative process, something that inspires you to do, to create, to express yourself. And there's business side that is completely more logical, where sure, your creativity is necessary for structuring it and maybe finding the right marketing for it. But there's also the strategy part of it, and the great amount of knowledge that is necessary, that is often or needs to be found somewhere else, like through books or through someone who's already successful in it, or through mentorship or through coaching, or the different workshops you can do, courses, whatever. So we recognize, well, one thing is that you have this artwork that you've created, and another thing is that you build a certain system that will be like a vehicle on which your art can be introduced to people. And these are two different things we need to focus on. It's like two different hemispheres of the brain that we need to learn to manage, or both of them are usually working. But the point is that you recognize, as much as you're working on creative ideas, also work on managing your logic. That will help you to balance your brain, and you will become more organized in your life. Or if you're a more organized person, it will help you to become more creative in your life. And balance between one and another is what makes you the most stable, what makes your energy the most balanced and grounded, which is really powerful, because when something hard happens, you will be like a tree. You will be able to handle it with great amount of resilience. So you will get as low as your standards allow, as far as your vision can see, and as high as your goals can reach. And once you learn to manage these three mental frames, your creative capacity will help you to find a way to fulfill your vision. It means that within you, you're a creative genius. You are a creative genius. And when there's something you don't know how to resolve, it's your ego that is saying you don't know. And the ego is that trained identity that was created through your childhood. So ego is not who you truly are. Ego is your persona, your identity. But when you tap deeper into yourself, for example, at the time before you fall into sleep, you recognize that identity is not present anymore, because it doesn't need to be. You don't need to be anyone when you go into sleep. And therefore, you go below it. You go deeper into yourself. Before you fall into sleep, you become more aware, more calm, more vulnerable. And you recognize in that deep vulnerability, there's also a home of creative genius. That's why often at that state we experience incredible ideas, solutions to our problems, or anything that is bothering us. Not by questioning it and not by thinking about it, but actually by letting go of everything, answers come to us. When we don't think about anything, answers come to us. And when we go to sleep, we don't go to sleep to think about whatever is happening, but actually to let go of everything. We don't think ourselves into sleeping. Actually, if we think too much, we can fall into a sleep, right? So for people who have this problem to fall into a sleep, it's a great solution if they find a practice where they can kind of narrow their thoughts into one single point, and then they focus on that one single point for 5 to 10 minutes, and what happens, their neurons in the brain become more relaxed because they can't squeeze all this thinking, so they let go of the thoughts, and what happens, all that stays is that point you're looking at. And that's how you become really present. So there's a practice where you can draw a black dot onto a white wall or onto a white paper, and you just look at it with an intention to not think about anything else. So when thoughts come, you just refocus back onto that circle. And as you're doing it consistently, you will recognize that your attention span will lengthen and your ability to stay focused will increase, and you will gain control over your overthinking mind. And when it happens, when you will close your eyes when you want to go to sleep, and you can then visualize this black dot, your mind will naturally just calm down, and you will easily feel relaxed, and soon after that you will just be gone into sleeping. So a beautiful practice. So my friends, I hope you found something valuable today. A powerful message, an important one when it comes to managing our lives. Whatever is for you important right at this phase. Right now, we are really supported for learning something new. We are at this phase after the powerful full moon that happened on November 27th. After that full moon, what happened, a strong energy came for that inspires us to learn something new. So many of us may be more drawn into maybe new knowledge or deepening our understanding around something, maybe getting into new mentorship or finding a new coach or starting a new program or reading a new book, getting into a new subject, something like that. That's what we are the most supported right now. So I wanted to make this video because it can help you so much on that journey and to get your life in order, because you're here to firstly to create a chaos out of an old order, because your habitual self is an order that was created in your past. And you have to create a chaos out of it. That's the feminine energy. Feminine energy comes and creates a chaos, because only in chaos creativity can be born. And that's why feminine energy loves to create a chaos, because it understands that out of chaos, new beauty can be born. So disrupt yourself with a change that you want to create in your life, and then start working on that change consistently so you can create a new order, so you can organize these great ideas that you have into a set of habits that will start naturally work for you. And once you do that, you will notice that this change you've been looking for is not so hard if you stay devoted to it, to that vision that you have. And sometimes you will have harder days where you need to be a bit more gentle, but just don't quit on it. As soon as you quit, you will fall back into your old self. But if you don't quit, you will find a way to stay devoted to your new self. And soon that new self will become grounded and rooted in your consciousness, and that's when you will become it. So my friends, Once again, I hope you found something valuable. Thanks to everyone for joining us on Patreon as well. And thanks to all of you for supporting my art in our Etsy store, I Draw My Passion. You're all truly appreciated. And till next time, one love.